Okay, folks, we're back. This is Karen Jean with Ex Libris Crafts. Hello! There seems to be a bit of a lag. I hope this video comes out okay. If not, I'll just have to redo it. I've been working on the journal. I wanted to bring you up to date as to what's been going on, and then also I have a page for us to do together. And she's getting kind of thick. I put this down. Oh, I need to glue it down some more there. See, it's coming up. I put this lace down on the spine. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not, but let's open it up. Last we were together, I was going to sew together this little book to insert into the journal, which is what I did. And I put this piece on here because I use these little round Velcro closures. Let me see. Whoops. There you are. And because this is just a napkin, it was starting to pull up the napkin. So I glued down just a tiny piece of cardstock there to help make that more secure. And the ribbon. So this is just a simple plain white book with quite a few pages in it. Let's count. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm having trouble. 8, 16, 32. A little 32-page booklet. Pretty big, but it will fit in. So I will put that there. What I did here, remember when we left this, I was wondering what we're going to do. I just put in, just glued down a couple more little flowers there. And also I just had this sitting in a box of pre-made ephemera. I really don't make ephemera ahead of time that much because I never know what I'm going to need or what I'm going to want. I make them specific to each journal. So, but with this thin, remember this is the slider belly band from Carol Tinson. And this just slides in there too. So this is actually another spot. Before I said I couldn't think of, it was just there for decoration. But so we have that. I put here on this page a couple of corner tucks. And I just decorated the repair with a little flower. This is the page we did before. As you can see through the journal, I glued on lace on some of the pages throughout on the edges. I used our border punch there on a few pages as well, and I like that with the green showing through. So let's just flip through this here quick. On this page, I love this page, I made these two little envelopes, and each one is a tuck spot behind it. So there's a couple of little cards behind each one, which just has a flower. I have a flower punch, a little bit of sparkly tulle there. But these envelopes open and fold out. Here, let me do the top one. I think that might go off frame. They open up like that, and you fold them down. So there's more journaling space there. So it's pretty, and this is just from a copy of the photocopy of the paper that I made out of the bits and pieces of the fabric. Here's just some trimming. This is the, oops, the tulip one that we did, that I glued all the way down because the stems on these tulips were weak spots, and the sticker there, the Cultivate Kindness. On this page facing it, I cut a piece of lace that I had left over. I'm having trouble putting that needle by. So this is just a side tuck spot there. Just a couple of embellishments. Haven't done much here. Here is a bookmark that I made. Just put that in there for now. Another page with lace flipping through. I made a few clusters that you'll see in the book, and what I did was I first punched out with my 2-inch punch off of cardstock to make as a base for them. I felt that I wanted to put them on something more secure as opposed to just grouping them all together and then gluing them or stapling them. So there'll be a few of these throughout. So there's one there. This here is from the hearts I cut out. That's the negative space, and I just glued that there. I thought that was nice. Again, here we have the border punch. Let's see what else I've done. Flipping through. Here is a flip out. There is a crocus, which is what those flowers are on those other things, which I thought I didn't remember what they were. And so this is just a flip out page with journaling space there. And on the other side, it makes a side pocket. And that's the end of that signature. Then I was doing some stuff back here in this signature as well. Here's another one of those clusters that I made, and they're glued down. Here is a side pocket and a flip out here with more journaling space. And these are just things that I fussy cut out of a seed catalog I have, Dutch Gardens I think it's called. It's filled with tulips and all kinds of wonderful things, mostly bulbs. So and here's some of that green viney stuff again. So I did that. This is the page that we're going to be working on next. As you can see, I've already stamped it with, I have a stencil, a brick wall stencil. So I used some of my StazOn ink there to make the brick wall. And what we're going to do here is we're going to glue these down to have like a flower bouquet. And then I have this piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. I like this brick wall, and I'm going to cut out some kind of something to make it look like the flowers are coming out of that, and then that'll be a bottom tuck. Have to figure that out. But let's just go through here quick. So what else have I done here? I don't know if I've done anything else here. Here's another one of those clusters. That one has a button on it. The center lace trimming. Oh, this here, this is glued down. This is out of a paint chip card that I picked up at the store. I have a whole stack of them here. All pretty colors, as you can see, and some more. So what I did is, again, with the flower embellishments, put a little, this is a piece of a ribbon that I had that I made into a ruffle, decorated that, and this is, I backed it here, see if you can see it, with, again, some of the collage paper that I made. Glued it down, and then just put in a few pieces of paper here for writing spots. So I did that. This here page, this is just a piece of folded paper that opens up into a journaling space, and I just put that little there to, it kind of holds it down, but not really. And then this pops out, and it has this little secret with it. This here is just some paper folded in half, so it's really just a little pocket bookmark, and it holds this secret, whoops, let me see if I can get this off. And it's just a little secret writing pad, you know, it just has a few pages in it, and I just have that paper clipped in, so it's kind of like a little hidden surprise, a little surprise for when someone pulls it out. Got a little surprise there. So let's see if I get that down. All right, so we did that. I did that. Again, another corner cluster here that I did. Just a little bling, lace, colorful threads. And that's that. Oh, and back here what I did was I made a very large matchbook style. This is out of the paper that I glued onto some cardstock. And this here paper is just tied in, so you can pull it in and out. And it's just pieces of paper lined on one side and graph paper on the other side. But these papers aren't sewn in. They can, so that you can replace them as you use them, and it just gets tucked in there like that, like a really big matchbook. So that's what that is there. So going back to this. So I have some of the fussy cuts from my porch prints. I have this die cut that I made, and some tulips that I cut out of that seed catalog. So I had laid them out here before, and what I also did was I had to get a new glue stick because my other glue stick finally ran out. So I'm going to try using the glue stick on these. This is glossy catalog paper, so I'm not sure if the glue stick is actually going to work. But let's try this. This one, this is the largest and the brightest, so I'm going to use this in the back as the anchor. Oh, see, no, that's not going to work. Okay, we'll go on to plan B, which is the art glitter glue. I didn't think it was going to work. I think I remember in the past. So I'm just going around the edges here. Oops, a little bit on the back. Okay. Putting that down in the middle and using a dried out baby wipe to put some pressure on it and spread it out. Oh, no, it wasn't quite dry. Okay, use a paper towel next time. So I have that. Now I think the way, I might just wind up cutting this down. I think how I had this laid out before was, these all seem to be going in the same direction. Whoops. Excuse me, I dropped that on the floor. And I think I had it something like that. That looks good. So that means that, now this is just paper, so this I can use the glue stick on. Let's deconstruct it. That way. Then I think it was this one. So it got very, very windy here all day today, and now it's pouring outside. Excuse my arm reach. Okay. Art glitter glue on this one. And so this is just, is my brother singing in the kitchen. He's very hard of hearing and only has about 10% of hearing in one ear. And he's constantly talking to himself and making noise. I think maybe because he can't hear anybody else, so he just constantly talks to himself. Here we go. This is a bit of not quite a lime green, or not quite sure what color green I would classify this as, but it's bright to say the least. And it is cardstock. It's a cardstock die cut. I have a tiny little die cut machine that I got on clearance at one of our craft stores because I wanted to give it a try. I didn't have die cuts or anything, so I just wanted to give it a whirl and see how I liked it. I think it cost me maybe like $15 or $12 on clearance, but it's a narrow machine. It's only 2.5 inches wide, so there's a limit as to what I can what dyes I can use on it. That one there. This is just layering some things up. Put our last piece down here. Now I know at the end, maybe I should start doing it tonight, there are some pieces in here that I want to outline with the liquid pearls. And because they are already in the book, there we go. Again, it needs to be the last thing I do before I shut it down for the night so that it has time to dry. Okay, all right, so what happened? There it is. Okay, now for this. It is another brick wall, but for some reason I was thinking of, oh, I should have probably raised them up a little bit. It's kind of close to the edge. Wasn't quite thinking clearly on that. Well, I can make it small. Some kind of, let's just cut a piece here. Metal looking type bucket for them. I'll cut it down a couple more. At least I know my cuts are going to be straight. This has such lovely lines marking them. Couple more. Would have been better if I had measured. I wouldn't be wasting the paper, but I'm sure I'm not wasting it. Okay, now I could just put this on here as the spot, although I think it would be nice to have it some kind of shape. And the shape I'm thinking of, this is about 1.5 inches. I need a piece of scrap paper. The shape I'm thinking about, here's a piece of scrap paper, is, let me just trace this around. And I'm horrible at hand drawing. You know, I did not take any art classes when I was in school. My best friend did, and she is went on to the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City after high school. And she is, and all her family, they're very talented artistically. So what was I thinking? I was thinking having it come down. No. Something more perhaps like this. There we go, like that. Like that kind of bucket. Yeah, like that. So I will cut this out and put it down here and use that as my template. And then I will turn this the other way so that it's even Stevens on both sides, right? More or less, anyway. Let me round these corners a bit. Now this is where I'm going to mess it up. This is where I'm going to mess it up. Yeah, see, I messed it up. This one just comes straight up to the curve and this one punches out like that. Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. So I'm going to, and this is going to be just a little tuck spot here on the bottom. Et voila. So there we have it. And I realize that there's glare. There's glare on it. But there we have it. Maybe I might want to throw in a couple more things over here. Let's take a look and see what I have. I get these are photo savers. They, you know, the big plastic box, you have like 14 of these in, and I use these to help organize all my bits and pieces, or most of my bits and pieces that I've cut out for decoration and ephemera. But let's try to keep it, let's see if I can cut out another one of these tulips, because we know how much I love tulips, and add that in to that corner there. So my daughter had my grandson come and ask me, because Mother's Day is a couple weeks away here in the US. Today's April 30th, tomorrow's May 1st. And you know, he calls me Grams. Grams, what is it you need? Do you need anything for like your crafting room or anything? What do you need, or do you want anything? He was so sweet. He's 11. And I said, no, I really can't think of it. I said, is this for Mother's Day? And he just kind of gave me a shy smile. I said, did your mother send you down here? So I said, well, actually, yes, there is something I need. I need better lighting. Because right now I just have these task lights which are okay for me when I'm working, but I realize that for videos, you guys get a horrible glare in these two spots over here. So there we go. That'll be pretty. Oh, there's that expression again. There we go. Oh, I have got to break myself of saying that. It's like people who say like all the time. Crack myself up. We all have our little quirks and our little foibles. Okay, that's pretty. Of course, there's a lot of glare on that, so you should see my workspace here. It's an absolute disaster. So there we have, there's such a lag. I think it's because of the storm in the internet. Let me see. I want to make sure you guys can see it okay. There. There. Just glue down this corner. And so, that is another page done in this journal. I hope you guys are having fun in your own craft spaces. Remember, we're only limited by our own imaginations. Thanks for stopping by.